Thank you so much for coming out tonight. This is our spring concert. We're super excited to share a lot of great music with you. If you missed it on your way in, there is a program tonight, but I did it digitally a couple years ago, and then I was like, no, I like the paper better. And then this year I was like, oh, let's go back to digital. So if you missed it, there is a QR code between this group and the next group. You can run back there. There's a few posters. Just scan that QR code, and there is a program to follow along with. And I put a lot of information in it, so feel free to peruse. My hope is that I'm going to try and talk during transitions as long as the students are quiet. That way we can get you in and out of here and have you listen to some great music. But I also have to educate you. My wife was like, you talk too much. And I was like, I know, but I have to educate. It's my job, I educate them all day, and then I see you all like 4 or 5 times a year, and I want to educate you too. So a lot of great things happening, and I want to share it all with you. This is our Wind Symphony. We're going to be playing one selection tonight, but it's almost a medley. It's the same song, but 2 different ways. So it starts out really slow and beautiful, turns a little faster, a little spicier, Latin version. And this is from Coco, which is an amazing movie if you have not seen it. So I hope you enjoy and recognize Remember Me. You'll get a real-life demonstration to see how well your children listen. So I'm going to ask them to move incredibly quietly, so that I can talk while you move. Alright, so once you're going to exit stage that way, and then all more going to come on stage this way. Once you're these front 2 rows in the middle are for you, and then if you don't fit there, you're going to see where we're going to sing. Okay, so very quiet. Start moving. Very cool. Alright, cool. So, as they move, I'm going to speak a little bit. Again, some of us have programs, hopefully the majority of us. I want you to scroll all the way to the back if you're following along. transparent with the students, and I try to be incredibly transparent with everyone. And so I have a page labeled Wrapping Up PDS Band 2025-2026. I should have sent out emails a long time ago with LGPE scores and honoring things and all same things and all that, but I just did not get to it. So here is everything you could ever want to know about it. And if you have questions about what any of it means, I would love to talk about it, because I care more about these numbers and this data than anyone in the whole wide world does. And so, LGPE, our Wind Symphony, which you just heard, and then Wind Ensemble, which is going on stage, and Jazz Band, they all do LGPE, but Jazz LGPE is a little bit different. The rubric is completely different. The requirements of music is completely different. They don't do sight reading. There's not a grade level. So when it says Wind Symphony, with grade 2 or 3, that's on a 1 through 6 scale. So if we're talking grade 1 music, it's on the easier side. If we're talking grade 6 music, it's on like the super advanced to college level difficulty side. So Wind Symphony with grade 2, 3, Wind Ensemble with grade 4, 5, and then again, Jazz Band is not rated. They don't have a specific list that we have to choose music from, like the concert bands. And then at the bottom, I included superior, excellent, good. When I say they got 1s, or they got 2s, or they got 3s, that is what those descriptors are on the rubric. And so students, I say this all the time in class, fill in the blank. Music is, say it on the mic, music is subjective. And so some years, we get nice judges, and everyone gets 1s. It's just, everyone's superior. We're all the best of the best. This year, students, thank you. This year was a very fair year. There were some fair judges in the room, and they don't post these scores publicly. So some people would say this is a no-no, that I did this. I should not share this with the public. I should have just said, oh yeah, we got our 1s. Because there tends to be this thing of like, oh, if you get 2s or 3s, it's like the world is ending. But when you look at the descriptors, superior, outstanding performance, worthy of distinction, of being recognized as among the very best, if everyone gets 1s, then that really doesn't fit the category. So, I just learned through the grapevine, my band director colleagues at certain schools that normally get straight 1s text me and they say things like, hey, my top group got 2s. Is that kind of what you're seeing as well? And so some years we just have, we had a really good panel this year. They were all national people. The warm-up book that we used, the person that wrote it was one of our judges. And so Scott Rush is his name. He is like one of the top 10 band directors. He's had marching bands with Grand Nationals and all that kind of stuff. So it was awesome to have him in, but he was very fair in his judging. So Wind Symphony, we're grade 2, 3, they got 3s on stage and then a 1 on sight reading. Wind Ensemble in grade 4, 5 received all 2s on stage and a 1 on sight reading. And then Jazz Band received all 1s on stage and they didn't do sight reading because they didn't do sight reading. So that's about LGPE. I will talk some more about the next one, honor bands, and all state and county and state contests next time. But it looks like Wind Ensemble is ready for the most part. So I'm going to give them 2 or 3 minutes to warm up real quick and move some chairs, and then we will be ready to go. So, this group is also kind of doing one piece, we're having a smaller group do a second piece, but again, this one is not just 2 in 1, this is like 5 in 1. This is a medley from Wicked, which part 2 just came out, I guess last year technically now, but I wanted to play a fall concert, and it was really darn hard, and we weren't quite ready, and then I said, well, let's just do a winter concert. That's a winter concert. I wasn't quite there, and said, hey, we're going to do a spring concert. No matter what, this will be the thing we do. So, it is about 9.5 minutes worth of music. It goes, it stops, it starts, it changes tempos, it changes keys, it changes styles. The melody jumps around the ensemble, you hear some solos, you'll hear some duets. You'll know when it's done. Once, like, cues, right? As soon as I do this, and then I turn around, then it's done. I'm not going to turn around until it's really done. So there will be some dramatic pauses, and then we'll start going again. So if you're not sure, just don't clap. I'll tell you when. All right? But this is very cool. If you've seen, raise your hand if you've seen part 1 or part 2 or the Broadway show or anything. Yeah, if it was cool. If you haven't, just some really great music, Stephen Schwartz. I believe it came out in 2003, and it's still going. They still do it at the Fox. It's still one of the best-selling musicals of all time. So, hope you enjoy. on here where it's like I really had to do my homework a lot on that. Because the tempos, and there was 5/4, and there was 4/4, and there was 2/4, and it was changing every measure. And it was definitely the most complex piece of music that this band program has ever played. So super proud of them because I wanted to do it a while and I couldn't, and now we could. That's what it is. So we're gonna have another kind of decent size set change here. When that's all, folks, you're just gonna go sit in these front two rows. If there's not enough seats, fill in where you can. All right, great job. Move quietly. And we're gonna shift our attention to, another round of applause. So if you have a program, you can follow along. We are on the second one of wrapping up PDS Band 25-26. Students, if we could please be quiet, thank you. Honor Band, All-State Band, all of those numbers are different years of the school. So year one of the school, we had 5 students in the band program take the Honor Band audition. One of those students scored above a 50. One of those students, the same one that scored above 50, made Honor Band. And then, I didn't include this, but I think no one made All-State Band for the first couple of years. That's why there's less numbers on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So the first one, no one made All-State, because it's really, really, really hard. The last numbers in gold are this year's numbers. So I've been here since 2018 when the school opens, and this is year 8 of the program. And so we've gone from 5 students auditioning to 94. We've gone from 1 student scoring above 50 to 53 of those 94 scoring above 50, which we consider a solid audition. We've gone from 1 Honor Band members to 15, and we've gone 1 up to 4, down to 3, down to 2. We'll talk about more of that in a second. But that is numerical growth. This is not my opinion. This is not how I feel about the band program. These are real data numbers here. So I enjoy sharing these with the students and keeping track, and I can't say publicly on a microphone that will go on a YouTube video anything about any other schools, but if you ever want to talk to me in person, I know lots of things, and I would love to share them with you. So, I saw enough. This next group up here is what we would call like a chamber group. And so, we had 2 members of the PDS Band program make All-State Band, which is incredibly hard. Well, since I'm talking about it, I might as well. I put some stats in here. There's 1,500 roughly high schools in the state of Georgia that's public and private, right? 168 of those have 1 All-State musician member. So we're already down to like 10% of schools, right? 77 schools that had 1 or more previously, and that's not just like last year, that's over like a few years, have had 0 this year. So just getting 1 is a really big deal, but keeping 1 or 2 consistently is incredibly hard. And you can see some numbers at that bottom bullet. Forsyth, Gwinnett, Cobb, and Fulton make up 52% of the Georgia All-State Band. So you can see how highly concentrated the music education is in those 4 counties. Forsyth, the reason some of us are like, whoa, why do they have 119? They have this school called Lambert High School, and they are the outlier. They have 55 kids make All-State, which is like, that first band on stage, that was like a little bit more than 55 kids, so it's wild. But Gwinnett, Cobb, Fulton are still, those are kind of the big 4, and we're in one of those. So it's incredibly hard to make our honor bands, like our Gwinnett County honor band is just as good as the All-State band sometimes, because it's just really high level players. So you're going to hear one of those high level players here in Lila Root on the oboe. She's playing a Bach oboe concerto, and we have a small group accompanying her. So I hope you enjoy. So Lila's a sophomore, and my band director was like, "Hey, sophomore age Mr. Garvin, do you want to stand on front of the stage and play a really complex concerto written by like one of the most famous composers of all time, and do like 64th notes and ornaments and trills and mordents and all these insane things?" I would have said, "No, thank you, Mr. Band Director." And so y'all could hear why Lila made All State, right? Like the tone, technique, the intonation. And we're gonna move into recognizing some of our seniors. And something I always try to express at this moment in time is this is really, really difficult to do. And these seniors that are about to get up on the stage have been doing the same thing as a class that they get to choose for 7 years in a row. And it's really hard. And there's a lot of shiny new toys at this school where they could have said, I've learned enough on the oboe or the clarinet. I'm gonna go do this or this or this or this or this or this. But they chose to stick with band, and they chose to stick with something that's really hard, and they chose to stick with something that is really cool, but again, it's really difficult. And it's really difficult to see and feel progress sometimes when you're doing the same thing over and over and over again in rehearsal. And so I'm incredibly proud of all these seniors. It is a really strong class of seniors. From the accolades to just the growth that they've made to the relationships that we've been able to develop over the past 4 years. There's some students that joined me a little bit later from different schools, and it's still been cool to get to know them in a short period of time. I have some students that I started in 9th grade, they had never played in middle school, but they came to me as a 9th grader and said, "I want to start band," and so I've got to see them grow and develop. So, I made a whoopsies. Who's fast? Jeremy, you're fast. Can you go to my office? And when you go in, go to the far right corner, and there's a bunch of pink cords. I need those. You go running to that. I'll stop, don't worry. Not the double ones, the single ones, okay? There's 18 of them. By any chance, is Miss Houston or any school administrator here tonight? If not, I will recruit a parent happily. But I need another set of hands on stage because it's awkward if I'm talking and handing out chords. So is there a parent? I get a student to do it, is that better? Student? Let's see, who wants it the most? Miles should get one. So, I'm going to hand a high school student the microphone, which is always an interesting choice, but Miles will announce seniors. We're going in alphabetical order by last name. So if you want to just go ahead and pop up out of your seats and go away right there. A will start first, and then we'll get down to the W's and the Y's, right? Miles is going to say first name and your instrument, and then audience, you can go wild each time as they walk up. I will give their chords to them and all that. This is all seniors and all band classes. You can bring instruments, not bring instruments, I don't care what you want to do, right? All right, so first we have Sean Ashley on the flute. All right, secondly we have Ronell Marquette on the trombone. Next, we have Autumn Carey in percussion.
Next, we have Ashley Hernandez with percussion. After that, we have Olivia Joles on the flute. And then we got Aubrey Cronendonk on the percussion. All right, Mason Curtis on the euphonium. Tom Long on the bass clarinet. Joseph Liu on the flute. Joseph Pindler playing on percussion and the drum set. Inez Rocano Perez on the trumpet. We got John Beeson Buckley on the percussion. Alan Valvadia Garcia on bass. Akira Wright on the alto saxophone. Myra Rue on the horn. Ellen Riley on the trumpet. Gabriel Ortiz on the guitar. Cindy Youngblood on the trombone. Let's give it up for the seniors!
So, it's always a really awesome moment. It's probably one of my favorite moments in the year of teaching, and being a high school teacher is really weird because I've been in that band room for 8 years, and I'm probably going to be in that band room for like another 20-something years, and I'm always in that band room, and I've already been to college, you know, I don't go to college or career or military and do something else, and so I get to spend 4 years with these really amazing kids and see them grow and change and go through the ups and downs of life, and with me, the band, and all the things, and it's just such an awesome journey to be on. So, super proud of these boys and girls, and we're gonna do one last performance at the Big Shebang graduation. They play in the Senior Symphony, so this is not the last you will hear from them. They'll team up with their orchestra senior friends, and they will perform the national anthem with vocalists and a little fanfare, and then they're doing a feature piece, which is going to be Jupiter from Holst the Planet, so that will be very cool at graduation. So let's give all of these seniors one big round of applause. Thanks so much. And keep those chords, those are the real things. I can keep it, bring it with you to graduation, right? So, last but not least, we have our jazz band. If I could get a few helpers from the other bands to clear some of these chairs and stands. You got a few minutes on your own, we'll help them get set up. this is our jazz band on stage. I'm almost to the point where I'm comfortable eliminating jazz band and just putting the Dukes of Swing, because I really love that name and it's more fun. So I can start saying it. This is the Dukes of Swing. We need a new drum kit cover that says the Dukes of Swing. That'll be awesome. But we're going to play a few selections for y'all tonight. The first one, this is kind of a redo from Jazz LGPE. We have some new pieces as well, but this is one they really liked and want to play again. So I hope you enjoy Running of the Bulls. next up, we have a couple, well, a few different kinds of feature pieces. So you heard Lila earlier, she made all say she gets a feature. In jazz band, we've kind of always done a senior thing. It gets a little messy when you have like 18 seniors in an ensemble, and they're like, I want a feature, I want a feature, I want a feature. In jazz band, it's like 2 or 3, and we can handle it a little bit better. So this one is Stompin' at the Savoy. It is a classic. There's a really cool website. Anyone like consider themselves like a jazz fan? Do any of us like jazz? You? Okay, cool. Good. Because there's a really great website called jazzstandards.com. And it has a list of all the most famous jazz pieces ever and everything about them and all the different recordings and stuff. And this one is on there. And the next piece is also on there. So we try to play some just classic swing standards. So this one features our bass player, and the bass player, if you're a bass player and know anything about music, they normally don't get the melody, but the bass has the melody at the beginning and the end of this one, so that's really cool. So this is for one of our seniors, Alan, on bass. Here's Stompin' at the Savoy. All right, so we heard from one of our all-staters earlier on the woodwind side of the band instruments, and now we get to hear one on the brass side. So this is Matthew Squarebeck. He was our second all-stater on the bass trombone. So give him a big round of applause. Euphonium player by trade. If you don't know what a euphonium is, they were on stage earlier. They look like a baby tuba, basically. It's like just like a tuba, but tiny, you know? It's the same range as trombone and everything, so it makes my little brass playing heart happy that we had someone make it. And I think, someone corrects me if I'm wrong, I think this might be the first brass player to ever make all-state band from High School? Yeah? Maybe? I think so. So, that's really cool. We got a ton of great movie. So, we are going to do another jazz standard. This is more of a slow swing. This one was kind of a push piece for us. We had to learn it pretty quickly. They had Jazz LGP right after spring break. So that was April, and it's currently April. So we learned these pieces very quickly. This one was pretty challenging, but we want to feature our awesome bass trombone player. So we're gonna try miking him because it's really, really low. And so again, we need to just check the level real quick. And it has lyrics because it's from a musical, but we're not going to talk about them, and we're not playing the one with lyrics, so don't worry about it. Everything's fine. All right. So hope you enjoy. Give us just a second to do a level check, and then we'll get going. here tonight. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank a few people. My boss is at the top, always a good move. Students, when you graduate, you get a job and you have a boss, recognize them. It's great to do, it's good business. But it's really cool because Dr. Leatherton opened the school 8 years ago, and he's been here for 8 years, and he's hired every single teacher here himself. And he's really kind of put his thumbprint on this whole school, and he's done a really good job and allowed the fine arts to really excel. We've had the stat for, I think, the past 4 years, highest percentage of students at any Gwinnett County high school that take fine arts classes. It's STEM school. So, it's pretty cool. And you know, with our honor band and all state numbers being in the top 10 in the county, we're not, most small STEM schools without a marching band and only one director shouldn't be kind of putting up the numbers that we are. So it's all due to our students. And we only do it on 3 rehearsals a week because we have the whole Friday thing. So we're really punching above our weight in a lot of areas. I also like to thank all the administrators. Our ABTF team is up here filming us, which is awesome because tomorrow we're going to watch all these in class and kind of reflect on that. Parents, obviously, without you, the students would not be here, so thank you, parents and families. Students, thank you for signing up to take band and continuing to take band and learn with me. And my wife is with my 2 daughters right now, and she said, I think we're almost to the point where we can at least start bringing Eloise, my older one. She's going to be 3 in June. So, right now, my younger one, Margot, she just turned 1 in March. Once we get to 6 p.m., it's not a good time. Parents, we were to think way back, when they were like 1 year old, there was an hour known as the witching hour. And so kudos to you for having small children out here. There's a couple. That's awesome. But Eloise will hopefully at the fall concert, so seniors, if you want to come back, and if you haven't met Eloise yet, she'll be at the fall concert. That's the plan. She can say it a little later now, she comes through. But anyways, thank you to my wife and my daughters for always supporting me, and they'll be here in person. You believe me, they actually exist. Don't worry, the ring is not fake. You know, it's a real thing. So anyways, steampunk, Gabe, guitar player. Jazz band is undergoing a slight shift next year. I'd be remiss to not talk about this. Some of the kids are really boo-boo-faced about it at me, and I understand. It's not a class next year. It is an ensemble next year. So from the parent perspective, my goal is you will not notice any change. There will be some different people on here, but what it's going to do, we're going to do it on Wednesdays or Fridays or after school or before school or all the above. And it will give more flexibility to get these awesome players into some of those concert band classes. And so we're actually kind of creating a new band next year. There's mastery band, then advanced band, then intermediate band, and then beginning band. And then kids from any of those ensembles can audition to be in jazz band. So it's going to allow us to have our tippy top players in the jazz band as well as our jazz band players in the concert bands. So just a slight change, but again, the average concert goer, you will not notice a difference hopefully. So this is jazz/heavy metal. It's going to be a little loud, but it'll be cool. So if you need to do one of these, I won't be offended. Gabe might be offended, but I won't be offended. So you're going to hear him do some serious shredding on the guitar. So thank you so much for coming out. Hope you enjoy our last number, Steampunk. you so much for coming out tonight. Congratulations, seniors, last kind of real band concert ever, sad face. But get home safely. If you have any questions or concerns, please come up and see me. Thank you so much for coming. Have a great night.